Alright, so let's look at this question here, which is you applying the application of differentiation and find the stationary points and its coordinates. Thereafter which sketch a graph. Let's see how we can do this. So you're told to use the second derivative test. This is the interesting one. So if you want to use the second derivative test, I think that is pretty okay. So for the first part, should be quite quick. So what we need to do is just dy dx for stationary point. What we need is actually just let this find dy dx equals to 0. Okay, so once you find dy dx equals to 0, this will just be 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 120x plus 4. So this case here will be dy dx, which is actually 6x squared plus 6x minus 120. And what we need to do now is actually just a stationary point. We know that dy dx is actually equals to 0. Okay, then what we're going to do is just 6x plus 6x minus 120 equals to 0. And I'll just divide everything by 6, and this will be 20. And if I were to just factorize this out, this would be x plus 5 and x minus 4. Very quickly, I know that x equals to negative 5 or 4. Okay, so once this is done, what we need now is to find out what's our y, because so when x equals to negative 5, our y would be, substitute it back into the y, so it's 2 equals to 2 minus 5 cubed plus 3 minus 5 square minus 120 minus 5 plus 4. So what I did was I just key into this equation here and see what will give us, what it will give us. And here, what we'll get is actually, when this is negative 5, it will become 429. Okay, just key in calculator. So if you're not too sure, 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 120x, and I'll put a plus 4 there, and solve it. Sorry, just substitute negative 5 storage and put in x, and we're just gonna sub into, so it's 429. Okay, so do the same thing for, so when x equals to 4, do the same thing, but now you just substitute 4 inside, so it's 4 cubed plus 3 4 square minus 124 plus 4, and here will give us negative 300. Okay, so the stationary points are, hence stationary points are 4 comma negative 300 and negative 5 comma 429. Okay, so that's how you do this question here. Now, after which we're gonna determine the nature by the second derivative test. So I think that's pretty okay. What we need now is a second derivative, like, so we just gonna find this is our dy dx. So second derivative will mean that we differentiate this. Okay, so I differentiate this with respect to, say if I were to differentiate this with respect to here, let me just use another color. Okay, so what you do is differentiate with respect to x, and this would be d square y dx square would be 12x plus 6. Alright, so this is it. So what we need to do is actually just replace the, when x is these two stationary value, negative 5. When x is negative 5, you know that d square y dx square, which is x equals to negative 5, would be 12. Maybe you don't need to put this. This is not really useful. You can just put d square y dx square. This would be 12. Negative 5 plus 6. Okay, so once this is done, what we could do is actually we'll get this as negative So it's negative 54, which is actually a negative number. So since d square y dx square is less than 0, so we have already explored this. When it's less than 0, it just means that it's a maximum point. So hence, negative 5, 429 is a maximum point. Okay, so that's how you do this. Then you do the same for d4, which is actually here 4. So d square y dx square is 12 times 4 plus 6. This would be 54. So 54 will be positive. And since d square y dx square is bigger than 0, hence 4 and this is positive, right? Negative 300 is a minimum point. Okay, we already discussed why is this a minimum point in terms of second derivative, so please go and review why is it so. So this is how you use the second derivative to determine its nature. Okay, so hence sketch the curve. The curve will mean that we just quickly sketch it. From this side here, I'm going to draw the 2 points out. So obviously these are very big value. So one we have 4, negative 300. So 4, negative 300 would be roughly, this is 4, let's say this is 4 and this is negative 300. Okay, then we have got negative 5, 429. Negative 5, 429. Yeah, this is another stationary point. After which we are going to just see what is the nature. So because negative 5, 429 is the maximum point, which we found that negative 5, 429 is maximum point. So this curve would just, it will be top of the mountain here, and there will be a valley of despair for the minimum point there. So there we go, here, there. Okay, so once this is done, just connect them. So obviously when x is 0, we just find the y-intercept. So when x is 0, it's 4. We know that it will pass by 4, but there's a very small value there. So I'm just going to put this like that, going up. Come down and go up. Okay, so that's about it. This is negative 300. This okay, so this is actually 0 and 4. Okay, great. So usually the exam will tell you whether they need the x-intercept or not. So usually you need to solve it. Okay, so this is how, but they just say sketch. So this question is vague. I'm just gonna leave it as not solved for the x-intercept. Okay. Yeah. Any question? Please let us know. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next question.